And today I wanted to go over in our training about handling difficult customers. Okay, I know we had a situation yesterday with one of our customers that I was helping Daniel, so I thought it was actually a good opportunity to bring this up. So Daniel, you want to go ahead and just brief us on like basically the whole situation, what was happening, or maybe even like what you learned from it, and then I'll do my take on it. But I would actually like to get your viewpoint on if it helped you, or if maybe I didn't help you. I don't know. Maybe you feel like well the guy's still difficult. I don't know. Let me know what's up.
Good question. So really what was happening was the client was asking a lot more than was what was put on the contract. And therefore, I kind of I didn't do my part of like setting expectations right from the get-go, but I think the expectations all across the board wasn't set. So Jorge and I kind of had to reconvene with this client and tell him like, these are the expectations. And I think that was one of the big problems that I was facing for the last couple of weeks. Because one, I gave the client my personal phone number. So he was calling me at any time, whenever he felt like it. And it was getting to the point where it was increasing level of complexity because we couldn't be productive because he would have, like when I was working on, let's just say, for example, I was working on, he would call me and he would want me to work on his thing. And therefore it just ruined my productivity for, whatever I need to get done for, I couldn't get done. And so Jorge yesterday hopped on a call with this guy here and, he kind of reset the expectations for him also. So, I'm glad that he hasn't called me lately and he allowed us to get approved for, being able to run ads. So we're just fixing up something. So it helped a lot in terms of resetting expectations for moving forward with this particular client.
Okay, good. Now one of the things that was happening was the request of changes and not happy with the ads or the sales page or the the copy and the this and the that, and there's just a lot of changes and a lot of being picky about stuff, and that's fine. Customers are paying us, they need to have the input into what's going on and how we design stuff, and it's got to be to their liking or whatever, right? But what I said to this guy, and what you guys can learn from this, is that the way you handle that is that you need to tell your customer that, look, I'm trying to be as efficient as I can. This is not the only account that I have, or in my case, like I told him, like, this is not the only account I signed to Daniel, right? He has other ones that we work on. That was one thing I said. Another thing I said was, look, it actually every change goes through a lot of different people. And so it goes to Daniel, and then it goes to a quality check and to the the creative director, and then it goes to the graphic design, then it goes back to quality check, then to Daniel, then to you. You see how it like creates a lot of extra traffic that every time we have a change. So what I said is, the way that I would like to work, Mr. Customer, is that I want all the changes from you up front. So if we send you something to review, it's totally fine if you have some input or you see something, especially like in this guy's case, it's a legal thing. So like if you see something that legally might get you in trouble or whatever, of course we're going to change it, but just give me all the changes up front. Now, on our end, we got to make sure that we fully listen and duplicate to this person, because there was, for example, this one thing that needed to have like initials or whatever, and we did listen to him on the copy, but not on the image. So now it's on us. We got to go back and change the image and stuff like that. So it does work both ways also. You want to make sure that you fully listen to him. Now, what we did, because Daniel was listening, but here's where the confusion was coming in, was the guy was calling and just saying everything verbally. So another thing that I told him is like, look, you're totally fine, give me your changes, but I need you to email them to me. I need it to be in writing to reduce any confusion, and that we know exactly what you have in mind, for the changes that you want. Question Oscar says, is this just for creatives? Yeah, basically, I mean, in this particular case, it was for the creatives and a little bit on the landing page, but yeah, he wasn't happy with like an image, a little dot here, a little dot there. Oh, my name needs to be here, my name needs to be there, or whatever. Like I said, it's fine. They can give us changes. You guys have to be willing to have that, and you are gonna, it doesn't happen very often, but you are gonna get some customers that are picky. But the way to handle that is, like I said, tell them, look, I need everything up front because I need to be as efficient as I can to get you, like, especially in this guy's case, he hasn't even gotten going. So I'm like, look, I need to get you going. I need to get you leads. You need to start making some money. You paid us for this. I want to get you results. So when he kind of heard that, he's like, yeah, I need the baby needs diapers or whatever. He was joking, like, he's like basically saying like, yes, I need the money or whatever. So I was like, look, good. So let's get going,
Yeah. Every time you meet with a client and he's being really tough. And if you handle it correctly, fine, you did it. But if you're like, man, I didn't know how to handle it, or it didn't end up good, and you wanna learn how you would handle a difficult situation with a client, you can reach out to me or Ollie. We both have a lot of experience handling all types of people. For years and years, we handle all type of people, right? We can do like role playing and how would you handle it until you feel confident. So in the future, if you go through the same situation, you know exactly how to handle it.
So Oscar brings up a good point. Do you think this could have been handled or prevented with a brand guide? Absolutely. That's one of the things that we did also discuss. Like if we were to have some sort of a brand guide, and you could throw that back on them too, because it is their responsibility to have something like that. But at the same time, if they don't have it, it's going to make your life harder. So let's help them create one too. I know that's hasn't been, usually a part of what we like write down in the contracts or anything, but a brand guide doesn't have to be super difficult. It's just what's your name, what's your logo, what's your preferred font, if you have any. Sometimes they don't, and then what's your colors or whatever. So
make sure you don't bring it up like it's their fault though. You don't bring it up like, hey,
yes.
you don't have a brand guide, what do you want me to do? This is like they never like to be made wrong, to be made feel like it's their fault. It never works out, but you can definitely bring it up and say we need a brand guide. You can even say, I should have asked for that earlier, but let's work on a brand guide and get it going.
Yep, exactly. We offer them to just reach out to Mary, our creative director. That's right. We can always coordinate with our creative team and then get something set up for the customer. And this can avoid a lot of confusion, guys, and a lot of back and forth, because if the customer agrees to that, then if we just follow that, for the most part, you won't get this nitpicky kind of stuff. All right. And then I know that Brad, you ran into a difficult customer yesterday. So do you want to tell us about it and see if how you handled it or anything you can share with them?
Yeah, so yesterday we were doing onboarding, and typical onboardings are usually very simple. Just kind of give them their expectations, so on and so forth. We got to the point of trying to get his credit card information to set up his business manager, and the guy became irate. Thinking that he had to spend more money than he had to, started cussing me out, felt he was completely lied to. I mean, it was just a very extremely hostile environment. So I was just doing my best, listening to him. I didn't, I just diffused the situation the best I could. I mean, I know Jake is here in the call. He can kind of back me up on this, but you couldn't do anything but listen to the guy just yell at you. And I just remained calm, kind of told him what we were going to do for him. And as I'm writing my notes and things like that, he kind of calmed down, was thinking about, actually, he was demanding the refund. And then after we kind of diffused it, then he was thinking, well, let's kind of reschedule, revisit back maybe 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock this afternoon. So I'm writing my notes. I'm trying to talk to Charlie, the sales rep, about the issues that's going on. And then Sally has stepped in and offered some more explanation on what else we're going to do with the SMSU setup. And by the time I was done with my notes, and by the time that Sally was done talking with him, the guy was like, you know what? You guys are awesome. You guys explained everything to exactly my expectations of what I need from you guys, and let's continue this on. And so I have to finish the onboarding with him today. And it was just, actively listening. You need to hear them. You can't get upset with it. I mean, they have every right to be mad at us. They're paying us. They're hiring us. And if they don't feel like the service is going to be provided, then they can fire us. So we just have to diffuse the situation the best way we can.
Yeah. Good points there.
I will say that when you're dealing with people, you have to just know what they're saying, not what you're hearing. A lot of times what a customer will vent about has absolutely nothing to do with their core problem. And so a lot of times what I will do is I will poke the bear a little bit, because I want to get the true reason that they're unhappy out of them. And so I do it with tact, and like with Rosa, and I was doing it with Jay, or yesterday I had a call with Nutriflare. And I was poking the bear a little bit, because I was trying to understand what he was, because what we were telling him to help him for his business was extremely logical and was good for his brand, but his thinking was not logical at all. And so I had to get that out of him, that his thinking was not logical. It was actually very illogical, but it was from the point of view from an Amazon seller who just wants to churn cash. It wasn't from the mindset of someone who's trying to grow a Shopify brand and a customer list and build a business to flip. All he cares about is churning cash. And so I had to sort of get that out of him. but you make sure when you're responding to them that you're responding to what they're meaning, not what they're actually saying. Because a lot of times the words are messy and you're going to answer something that isn't what they're trying to get across to you.